Good afternoon. I know it's the last session. One more time. Good afternoon. All right. Again, thank you for that kind introduction. My name is Ankur Gopal, and today I'm going to talk to you about today's technology. Before we begin, I want to encourage you all to pull out your phones and use your phones throughout this presentation. If I get boring or something you don't like, find something else that interests you. But before we do, I'd like to run an experiment. For those of you who may or may not be familiar with Twitter, the Best of Leadership Summit is trending in Louisville, which means that a ton of people are finding about what is going on here right now. So if I can ask you to put out your phones for a mild experiment, for those of you who know how to use Twitter, there's your hashtags and the people to tag in your tweet. And if you don't know how to do it, just send me an email with a photo or something that you take today, and I'll respond to you and I'll tell you exactly what that means, and I'll send you some metrics as to show you the trending topic, so at least you'll be familiar with the results, if not the action. So, about me, I started a company, I went to a couple schools, I did a number of things before jumping into mobile high-tech and wearable technology. So, the idea here is that I'm not here to talk about myself, but I'm more interested to know exactly what it is you all are doing in terms of technology utilization and innovation within your own companies, large or small, as well as give you some tips and tools to help you get on that roadmap. So before I start any presentation, I like to set a few goals so there's no question of where we're trying to get to. So the goals for this presentation are this. Number one, I want to demonstrate a couple of technologies for you that you might find interesting. Number two, I'm going to spawn your own creativity about things that you can do within your own enterprise and your own lives. Number three, I'm going to make you all a technology advocate and champion within your companies. And I'm going to give you a tool on top of that to show you for just 15 minutes a week how you can achieve that. And finally, I'm going to try and impress you with something I do here today. So hopefully I accomplish at least a couple of these 5. So first off, I'd like to introduce you to my grandmother. My grandmother has an iPhone. She beats me in tennis with cheating every now and then. She enjoys the occasional shot of bourbon if you don't tell her what it is she's drinking. And she loves her iPad. All neat little things, but one other thing I didn't mention, my grandmother just turned 88 years old last week. So, there's no excuse for anyone in this room anymore. So let's talk about Ankur the consumer. I'm going to ask a straw poll. How many gadgets am I wearing right now in this photo? 3. Any more? 4? Keep going. I'm actually wearing variants of 9 pieces of technology. So the idea here is I'm going to go through some of these innovations and show you the neat things that I have in my house and on my desk, and kind of take you through a little roadmap of what each one means to me. Number one, Google Glass. I'm wearing it right now. I use it for a number of things. It keeps me hands-free. I can see my emails. I can see information right in my eyesight whenever it comes up. It helps me with facial recognition technology. If I can probably determine who all is in this room and who all is there. It helps, and it gives me tools throughout the day. So I'm going to do a quick experiment with you. I'm going to take a quick video. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I'm seeing. Wave if you want. You can wave if you like. There you go. Number 2, my Android phone. Tremendous capabilities. Everyone that can't do without their phone. I hear people say, if I lost my phone, the first thing I do is run out and buy another one. I don't care how much it costs. I think we're all there. You can see why it's valuable. Some good and bad, like everything. You're always connected. You're always available. But you always be able to communicate instantly and always get information immediately. Next thing I want to teach you about is AR, artificial intelligence, how this can work. Augmented reality, pardon me, AR. As you can see, an example of that is you'll be able to project a keyboard in air and be able to type, and it'll recognize your hand signals. How is this neat? It's an example of AR when you take this in front of your phone. That's a normal bottle of Jack Daniels. But when you put it with AR, you might see something happen. On any one of your products or brands, you can help engage the user and help extend his experience by giving him more information right then and there. So if you go to any liquor store and you put your phone with the AR augmented reality app called AR on it, you might see my face pop up. Go away. There you go. Next up, HighGenex. This is a device that helps me monitor how clean my hands are and how hygienic I am in the workplace. So it allows me to stave off infectious disease, make sure that, and teach me and educate me to make sure that I'm washing my hands enough and make sure I'm healthy. As you can see, it provides data showing me how much I wash my hands based on the industry averages and based on perhaps the job I'm in. Maybe if I'm in a hospital, I need to wash my hands more. Maybe if I'm in a restaurant, I need to wash my hands more, et cetera. The main thing here I want to emphasize is data helps change behavior. Leap. This is really cool. Leap turns air into a touch screen. And I'm going to do a little quick demo with you, if you don't mind. Have any of you seen the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise? Okay, if you have in 2002, this is a very prolific movie in that it predicted so many technologies that we use today. So as you can see, for the next few moments, I'm going to channel my inner Tom Cruise and Minority Report. So, bear with me, ready? Hands. My hands are in the air. I'm able to push, pull. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both hands in. Go back. Right. You can see my hand is recording my hand movements in midstream and midair, right? So how does this help us? Well, I'll show you why. Oh, it's still going. Excuse me. There we go. And you can see the amount of flexibility and the amount of capabilities it has. So that's Leap. My iPad. Simple user interface. Everyone can use it. Apple designed this to be simple. So simple, my mother, father, fiance, and grandmother can all use it. And it also allows me to be more productive, and it also helps me make sure that I can mimic the problems that my mother, father, fiance, and grandmother are having about their phones. My Fitbit tracks my daily health, motivates me to help complete fitness goals. And finally, the last piece, I'm not wearing them now, but they're my heated boots, which I just think are really cool, and they were great for this winter. So technology is all here. So this is all neat, Ankur the consumer. So how does all these neat gadgets that may or may not have any business implications tie into today's topic? Well, so how does Ankur the consumer turn into Ankur the leader and executive? And then in that case, you all as a leader and executive. We talked about Google Glass. Let's go back through it real quickly. Google Glass can revolutionize the medical industry. There's already pilots being done in numerous hospitals and numerous healthcare facilities around the country. As you can see, a surgeon or a physician who is wearing these are hands-free. They're able to see vital signs and information right then and there that are pertinent to their patient and their case. Number 2, even consults and continued visits to be able to track user-patient data and making sure that that individual is continually cared for. That's another way to help improve health outcomes. And it's only for healthcare, right? But I'm going to challenge you now. What about construction workers, plumbing workers? People in services industries, museums, everywhere you go, you can tag. If I'm having a problem with the field visit and I need to contact an expert to take a look at it, no longer do I have to wait a day to put on a schedule. I can do it in real time by clicking 2 buttons and connecting with them immediately. Training and education. How many things do we actually do in your company that would be able to shorten the training timeline, able to really help get these people trained and better working? Sports and coaching, we're working with the University of Louisville on some potential pilot projects as well. And can you imagine if you had a warehouse this big and I could scan every single barcode and every piece of inventory there in less than a minute instead of hours? That's tremendous ROI. So in your respective companies, you may or may not have champions, you may not have resources to do some of this development work, which is kind of what we do with a lot of companies. But in-house, there's a lot of things you can do to help promote creativity, do these types of education seminars, get people in a room and have them hack out a problem very quickly. I talk about HighGenex, behavior change. If I know that, if I work in a hospital, I know that I'm washing my hands only 4 times in a 10-hour shift, but the average should be done 6.5. Well, I know that I'm going to improve my hygiene and prevent infectious disease, right? But what does this mean? It's just neat. Why do I need to know this? Well, every year there's 100,000 deaths and expenditure of over $30 billion just because of unsanitary conditions, and these are preventable illnesses. Very big problem, very simple solution. Again, only for healthcare, right? But what about using hygiene for fast food and restaurants? People don't eat at C restaurants, if I'm not mistaken. Can you imagine if you were able to take in a solution that does improve the hand health and the hygiene of your institution, that goes from C to A, increases your customer satisfaction, and of course, drives to ROI. This also can be used in the same sort of food processing factories, supermarkets, anywhere where hand hygiene results in the consumer experience or the end game of ROI. Lead motion. I told you something pretty neat there. Hands in, hands out, control things, virtual reality. What about virtual reality for engineering? You're able to, your team of engineers are able to quickly prototype, quickly learn, quickly take things apart. Instead of spending days and weeks on simple projects, they can do it in hours. But what about fast food restaurants? If you're using this technology to help train your employees in industries where you have a tremendous amount of turnover, you can train people quicker in hours versus days and weeks. Again, leading to customer satisfaction and ROI. Same thing, food processing factories, you can use this technology to help create business cases and business drivers that will return to your bottom line. My Fitbit, this is great. I'm putting this on here because it's the only day that I won against all my cousins and family, right? And we were very active on it, so that's certainly how many steps I walked in a 7-day period. It shows me results of calories, distance, and certainly I slept for 5.5 hours, which is a luxury these days, it seems. So, but what if those healthy outcomes? What if I could take that data, and insurance providers gave me a better rate on my insurance plan because I'm healthier than the average person, resulting in lower insurance costs, resulting in healthier, improved health outcomes. That's the end of the game, right? We talked about AR, and if you remember the Jack Daniels experience, that's pretty neat. It may help sell a few more cases. It may help create some brand awareness. But what if you use this to help people get better at their jobs, create training scenarios, create different types of training protocols, different types of software where it allows them to take on expensive and time-consuming tasks in a very short period of time. The biggest problem with all this that you may be thinking, this was expensive. Now it's a couple it's a couple of weeks of work and a couple of pairs of Google Glass and a couple of devices that you can do this in-house and start promoting these types of technology innovations within your company. Okay, great. Lots of possibilities, lots of neat stuff. So what? And I hear this all the time, I've got to focus on my core business. I've got to be, and honest, I don't know technology and I'm not comfortable with it, but my child or nephew or niece is a whiz at it, so that's something that they do. So what can I do? Meaning, what can you do? Number one, lead like an entrepreneur. Constantly learn. Surround yourself with the right team. Be bold and creative. Start challenging yourself. Don't necessarily say that's outside of the normal day-to-day work that I'm trying to do or not part of our core business, because eventually it will become a very important part of your core business. You can see, I like this, fail again, rinse and repeat. Continue this process. So you have to lead like be creative, be very exciting, and about the possibilities to improve your business. And I know you heard that before, so I'm also going to put this slide that most entrepreneurs don't put on. Manage like an executive. Vet the idea. Make sure there's a business case around it. Make sure that you document what the successes are. What do you expect to get out of the project? How long do you plan on trying this project before you deem it a success or failure? Get team to buy in, and if number one, above all, have an implementation strategy. No one likes to learn new things, especially when they've got 50 other things on their plate. So making this encouraging and making this pleasurable for your team to do, where, oh my gosh, my job just got a lot easier and I'm much more effective. That's the kind of results you want to see. So how do you marry the two? Simple. In your business, here's what you can do. Here's the tool I promise you. Identify the digital champion within the company. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone with you, but you have to find someone who is going to be on board with this as you are. And number two, determine your strategic projects, determine what you want to do, and make a plan around 2 or 3 things. What we do, consistently email your team and your employees every Friday on some pain point in your company that you'd like to have some sort of technology solution to address. Ask your team to come up with a high-level solution and to email you just a simple email with 3 things. What's the solution? What's the timeline of this to build something like this? or prototype something like this, and what's the cost? Pretty much those are the three main things that I see that we've seen that are decision points for the decision makers. So it's something you can implement quickly and not just sit on for 5, 7, 12 weeks, right? The key word here is consistently. Make sure, put in your schedule on Fridays to do this and have your team do this. Above all, so my final thoughts, and I want to just quickly go, I like having one slide that shows everything. I'm just going to quickly go through it. Technology has to improve business outcomes, not just be neat. You can have, leaders have to have a plan to integrate this in their business. Don't be afraid to try things that disrupt. History has shown us the most successful leaders made bold choices. And if you won't do it, your competition will. Technology does not replace jobs. It makes complex jobs easier so people can do more. So don't think that this is a job replacer. It is a job creator. If you don't believe me, how easy this is and how easy you can do it, ask my grandmother. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions outside of the presentation. Good luck to you all.